since Queen Aelin and King Doran brought peace to Erilea. But the scars of battle still linger, haunting the land. Erwan, Maeve, and the Vow may have been defeated, but a new threat looms in the shadows, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. As politics, love, and betrayal intertwine, farmlands are ravaged by bandits, trouble brews on the borders, and darkness lies in wait, ready to consume the land once more. Can this party of heroes rise above the challenges that stand in their way, and save Erilea from the brink of destruction? Or will the walls of this newly built kingdom come tumbling down?
Hello and happy Saturday. Welcome back for the first time in the new year for our Chronicles of Erilea game. We are on episode 6, Ancient White Walls. I believe Sarah is going to do a catch up from the beginning till where we are now so that we can all be on the same page and know where we're going moving forward.
I'm going to try. We'll see how this goes. Okay, so there was a big party at the castle in honor of Azathal's organization, the name of which I can't remember.
The Torres Esme.
Thank you. Yes, that one. And during dinner, the lights all went out and there was some screaming, and then the lights came back on, and there was a dead lady. And the dead lady's body just went to ashes after a second under investigation, so it wasn't a real dead lady. And there were some investigations and some asking of questions and gathering of intelligence. And there is there was a delegation from Terrassen that we had some words with, and we were sent by boat up to Terrassen to try to figure out what the fuck is going on. I think I probably missed some stuff.
Yeah, you got it for the most part. There was a letter that arrived from an anonymous sender saying, we have the queen, who was the Queen of Doranel, which is across the ocean in Wendelin. And it pretty much said, we're holding her captive. We want a artifact that is claimed to be lost. We don't think it is. And if you want, essentially the queen back alive.
That's right.
Find us this artifact.
I found it in my notes.
Yeah.
They want Damaris, a family heirloom, blah, blah, blah. We have 7 days to bring it to the Dead Islands. Or, yeah. The lady gets it.
Right. That's right. And you've spent about 2-ish days traveling out of your 7.
Okay, that was on the boat.
Yeah, because you took the fast Fae ship that travels at double time in comparison to regular ships, and because you had 7 days to get what you need. So Yeah, that's
we also made a promise not to disclose what we saw or heard while we were in the throne room. So we have to be careful about what we say.
That's right. You
And
did.
that was a magical. That was a magical promise. It's binding somehow.
Yeah, it's like a magical NDA.
Okay. That's important in my line of work.
Yes.
Portia's probably a little bit disappointed about that.
Yeah, so you have a few like random things that have come across while you know working through all of this nonsense that happened from the party. Azathoth, one of her healers, was found dead. Colleen, she does have an assistant who's going to take care of the Torre while she's off handling this business because she was requested to handle this business. So Marguerite is going to be handling that. I think
the first murder was the blacksmith's daughter, Josie Bellhammer was the first victim that was murdered, and Kayleen, I believe was her name, was another person that was murdered, and she was the healer from the Torre.
Yeah, which you don't know if they're related or unrelated, but you know these awful things are happening as well as the missing queen. I think that's pretty good. I think that's pretty much it. You spent some time at the Crow's Roost, which is owned by Portia's grandparents.
Mm-hmm.
Thesis went to a gambling hall, bits and chips.
And then narrated like his entire experience at the buffet, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. Yeah. It was very entertaining. Bless little golden retriever Theseus's heart. And then nothing really interesting has happened along your travel aside from the things that Az and Theseus experienced while Portia and Elwyn were sleeping down below. The floating raft and the jellyfish. If you remember either of those things. But that catches us up to where we are now as you're headed north to Teresin from Arderland, which is one of the continents of Erilea, or one of the countries on the continent. Arderland and Teresin, they're two different sort of countries on the continent, if I didn't say that in good enough English, because English is hard. So
it is.
Your ship gets closer to the land, and you can see the town that you're coming into. You're coming into Ilium. This is the home of the Mycenaeans, who for a long time were thought to have been lost until the Great War happened, and they sort of have resurfaced since then. Theseus himself is also Mycenaean, but he had a little too much fun on the trip and is asleep. As your ship sort of pulls into the dock, you can see the town itself. It is surrounded by white walls. It rises up between the threshing turquoise sea and the broad mouth of the Florine River. Ilium is as ancient as Teresin itself, and would have been forgotten by traders in history were it not for the crumbling temple at the northeastern edge of the city. The temple draws in enough pilgrims to keep the town sort of thriving, as well as the Mycenaeans have sort of brought it back as a trader's hub. So there's quite a bit of merchants in and out of there. The temple itself is called the Temple of Stone. It is a stout and spraying temple erected on a pale cliff with a commanding view of the storm-worn pretty town behind it and the endless ocean beyond. Okay, computer, please don't go to sleep when I'm reading from my notes. Okay. History claims that the temple was built around the very rock where Brannon Galathinius, the first king of Teresin, had placed his foot upon the continent before sailing up the Florine to its source at the base of the Staghorn Mountains. So that is what it looks like when you sort of sail in. You see the temple and the walls and the town itself. I'm going to say it's probably mid-morning, not quite afternoon, but not quite bright and sunshiny dawn whenever you get in. Mid-morning, 10, 11-ish, when your ship pulls in to port, gets into the docks, all of that. It is a big enough port town that the ship can come in. You doesn't have to moor, and then you have to paddle in on a little rowboat or any of that. So it gets into the docks, and the crew is going to do crew things. They're going to unload and such, but you're free to head off with your belongings to wherever it is that you are headed from here.
You said it's sort of early afternoon?
More like mid-morning, not quite afternoon yet.
Okay. And this is day 3, right? We were on the sea for 2 days, or is this the second day?
Day 3. This is the third.
Day 3. Okay.
Yeah. 2 full days of travel, and then.
Okay. That's what I thought. Day 3.
Are there any dignitaries to meet us, or are we on our own?
You're on your own. If you remember correctly, this is a super secret mission. Nobody knows about any of this aside from the handful. The royals that were with you have accompanied you along the way, but they're going to go their separate direction when getting back.
So this is a port town, right?
Yes.
This is not our final destination necessarily, correct?
Not necessarily, no.
Okay. Do we have a map or something, or can acquire one?
A map or something?
A map of Teresin, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did I not give you guys one already? Hold on. Let me look in the Discord.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, and I just didn't scroll up far enough in the Discord.
There may be one in the pins. I can't remember entirely. We've been off 2-ish months.
And my ass having only read the first book. Let's see. History. Oh, there it is. Okay. Well, it's Erilea just in general.
Yeah, so you're in Ilium. It's right on the coast. Where the Florine River connects to the ocean. That's kind of where you are in Teresin there.
Okay. And then... Okay.
And I'm pretty sure you went north because Aelin, the former queen of Teresin, had said the last place that Damaris, which is the artifact you're looking for, was seen was at the final battle that had happened from the Great War. So,
which was where?
Outside of Orinth.
Okay, so we need to continue up the river, essentially.
Essentially, yeah.
Okay, and I assume this ship is too big.
The one that you were on, yes,
it's an ocean ship.
Okay. Yeah.
So maybe what we need to do is, if we need supplies or lunch or anything here, and then we need to see if we can charter transportation going up the river.
Yeah, you could do that for sure. Or you could get land animals if you wanted, like horses or a carriage or something like that as well.
Okay. What I know is this river navigable all the way to, what was the name of the city?
Or
okay. Yeah. Or so it doesn't get too small for boats part way up.
No, it is big enough that you could do like a river barge or something
Okay.
like that, you know.
All the way up.
It's a-
Okay.
Yeah, it's a
That's
pretty
probably gonna be the fastest and the safest.
it's
But-
big, like think Mississippi River kind of big.
But-
Yeah,
But I want horse.
okay. We can get those later, maybe.
Okay. I think Elowen has like never had actually properly had a horse, and she sees them all the time. She's just like, God, they're just so beautiful.
We can get some of those when we get to town, dear. But I
Okay.
think, if we're on the river, we won't have to deal with, bandits and bad weather and all manner of unpleasantness.
I think, but weather happens on rivers. You know that, right?
Yes, but I think if we charter a riverboat, we'll have quarters indoors,
Oh,
less of the sleeping on a muddy ground sort of business.
I was not picturing that, and that that makes
And
a
it
lot
will
of sense.
undoubtedly be faster.
Yeah, I understand. Horses later.
Horses are very cute, darling. I completely understand.
Horses later.
We'll do that later. I assume that we won't be able to find everything we need right in town and might need to grab some horses and explore around a little bit.
Yeah, and Aelin, she had told you like what she knew about Damaris, that it was a heirloom sword that Dorian had. The last place that she saw it was when he was wielding it at the final battle. She doesn't think that it was left on the battlefield, but Teresan is the last place it was seen, and the battle took place outside of Orinth. It's not in the castle in Orinth. It's not any of that, but that's why you headed north, is because it was the last place it was seen. So you're kind of on a wild goose chase from here to figure out.
Okay. Is there some sort of repository of knowledge, either here or in Orinth?
In Orinth, for sure, it's the capital of Teresan.
Ah, there we go. Okay. For, rumors or anything like that. And also, this is a different country, and Portia has not, been here before. She's interacted with dignitaries who have come to Rifthold, but she's going to want to look up family trees and relationships amongst people of influence to see if she can figure out the food chain up here and who might be sort of the equivalent of her up there, who would know about all of the rumors that are flying around and all of that.
I think above the table, all of those are available in your document that I made for you.
Cool. Okay.
The one that has like the family trees and so on.
Cool. Okay.
But I will still make sure you can have in-character access to finding that information once you get to.
Got it. Cool. Because Portia's sort of take on this is going to be, there has to be somebody who knows something. We just have to find them.
Right.
So we need to find somebody who knows everybody, or somebody who is running the rumor mill, if that makes sense.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so as you're kind of like getting into town and coming down the docks and so on, what do your passive perceptions look like?
15.
Okay.
I'm guessing Azathoth is going to be
14 passive. Oh, that's insight. Sorry,
I was
perception.
going to say, aren't you a druid?
Hang on.
16.
Passive what?
Passive perception.
13.
Okay. It's
So,
Azathoth.
yeah, so as in Portia, you're walking along just fine. Elowen, you're kind of taking in all of the sights. You've not really been outside of your area, your shop. You kind of stick to your guild stuff. You trip over an outstretched foot and the man who it is attached to sort of pops up and yells very loudly, "Barnacles are quite friendly."
What?
What?
And you can tell he's clearly hungover.
Oh.
And he kind of starts to like pat himself down, collect his thoughts, and he seems extremely hazy. He sits in a pile of chests and barrels, and he kind of squints at you and hiccups.
Elowen, darling, check and make sure your purse is still in place.
I pat myself
As
down.
checks herself. Make sure
Yeah.
everything's still
Yeah.
there.
Nope, you weren't pickpocketed.
Okay.
Is that, we should just be on our way. I know you didn't mean to actually trip me. People don't actually do that, right?
No, he was definitely passed out drunk.
Oh, okay, cool.
You for sure realize that, like, as he sort of, you trip over his foot and he's like jumps awake, kind of gets scared out of a dream or whatever. That's when he yells, "The barnacles are friendly." And you can tell he's clearly very hazy. He's got some big round cheruby cheeks. He wears a tricorn hat. He wears a long sort of leather overcoat, breeches with boots up to the knees. He has long curly brown hair and a long brown beard that's got two sort of little strands out of it, have these little beads in the beard there. And he's got some pieces that also sort of hang from his hair as well. He wears a amulet around his neck.
Does this seem at all out of place besides... Is Portia's spidey sense tingling?
No, he doesn't seem... I mean, you're in a port town.
Yeah.
He's dressed like somebody who is a ship captain or something along those lines.
Okay.
Are you standing there looking at him still?
Yeah.
Check out the amulet to see
Yeah.
if maybe he worships a certain god.
It is sort of bronze in color, and it has this sort of swirling motif on the outside of it, like on the top. And it's like sort of the swirl itself is like a darker color, kind of like when they make metal jewelry and then they put the
Overlay a different kind of metal.
Yeah, kind of like that, but it's like a darker kind of coating, not quite paint, because you don't paint metal like that, but
Is it like two different woods that have been inlaid?
it's not wood, it is metal, but kind of like that, right? Like,
But it's been
got-
inlaid.
yeah, it's got like a black, it's kind of black in color, but not fully black, like tarnished bronze kind of would look, that dark brown black color, and it's a swirl that starts sort of thick at the bottom and it curls up to a point as it reaches back towards the center, and then there's like a little circle underneath the point.
Would we recognize it as any religion or a coin or something that he's wearing around his neck?
You could do like a history or a religion or something like that to see if it's something you can recognize as
do some advantage on that if you want it.
Why the hell does she only have a +1 on religion?
Because it's an intelligence-based skill and you're a wisdom-based character.
I've got a +2 on both history and religion, if that's at all helpful.
R.I.P. to that comment. Oh my god.
All right, I will go ahead and just try it with my +1. I'll try a history check. 7.
You got advantage. Portia gave you a help action.
Okay.
We're thinking out loud here.
3.
Wait, what was it?
Hell,
History?
okay, this one is going
Dice
time
jail.
out. I'm getting a blue dice out.
Dice jail.
Yeah. Okay, so I got a 3, so that'll be a 4 on the other one. So
Yeah, so a 7 and a
Okay.
4. Yeah, you don't really recognize it. You think it kind of looks like a tentacle a little bit.
That phrase that he said that was so very random, now that I'm like out of my oh shit, there's a dude right there surprise. I mean, Thieves' Cant is kind of like a mix of sort of sign language and code.
Mm-hmm.
Is it tripping anything in Thieves' Cant? Like this wasn't just something random that he shouted when he woke up?
Nope. No thieves can't trickeries going on there. Barnacles are quite friendly.
Okay. And the symbol on the amulet around his neck doesn't match
None of
any
you
of this.
don't recognize it as a religious symbol or anything like that. No.
Or any of the sort of coded symbology that is inherent in Thieves' Cant.
Nope. None of that.
All right.
And as you're kind of standing around, he stands up and apologizes. I'm sorry, Mrs. My name is Captain William Adult. And he kind of bends over and does like a flourishing bow and holds his hand out to greet each of you.
Adult as in I am an adult?
I am not a kid, I am an adult.
Okay.
Direct quote from Captain William.
does he look human or is he?
Yes, he looks human.
Okay.
He's got
I
like
will-
a coppery bronze color tan going on.
I will
I'll say hi, but I won't say my name.
Yeah, I'm gonna take his hand, shake his hand, whatever. Lovely to meet you, darling. If I might suggest a cup of coffee, I think it would make you feel better.
That sounds like a wonderful idea. And he holds out his arm, thinking you're suggesting having coffee together.
Oh no, I'm so sorry. We've got places to be. I'm afraid you'll have to enjoy that coffee on your own, darling.
Oh, well, maybe another time. And he puts his cap back on because he took his hat off, and did the very gentlemanly thing. And he doesn't bother you. You said, peace out, Girl Scout.
Swerve around.
Consent is key.
Yes. Random drunk who needs some coffee.
I mean, you're in a port town. What do you expect?
I'm feeling bad about this decision, but based on what he has said and his presentation, I can't think of a reason for us to like join him for coffee.
I mean, he's dressed fairly nicely. He's not like Jack Sparrow. He's more like Barbossa, dressed better. Captain Teague, Captain Barbossa, dressed nicer than, Jack Sparrow in his pirate garb.
Okay. Elowen's gonna come up and be like, why do we need to? Who are you? And why are you here in the street? You said your name, but like, tell us about yourself. Why are you here in the street and not at home with your family?
Well, I don't really have any family. The sea has been my loving wife for a very long time. I'm a great pirate captain. Well, I used to be a very great pirate captain, and I sailed the sea with a crew over 100. And now I am here. It seems I maybe swashbuckled a little too hard last evening and wound up here instead of in my quarters.
Why are we admitting that we were a pirate? Doesn't that get you, in trouble?
Not in a place that's run by Pirate Captain Rolf.
Is that like general knowledge?
I think, yeah, it's in your document that I've provided for you.
Okay.
The Mycenaeans were known pirates.
Okay. So it is known that this city is run by. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a Sarah failure, not a Portia failure.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, it's the first time you've been here as players, so it's kind of like, oh yeah, duh.
Yes. Okay. Portia would have like studied up as much of this as she could on the ride over. Okay.
As well, ask him, what
I
was it
retract
like?
my comment.
What was it like to sail with Captain Rolf?
Well, I was just a young lad when Captain Rolf was sailing. I was mostly swabbing the poop decks, but I always wanted to be like him. And I am not like him, but someday I might be. Clearly, he's still a little hungover.
I think that coffee is really going to help you with that goal, darling. Maybe that bakery just over there.
Yeah, I am gonna make my way over there.
Something very carby, very greasy, I think, to soak up whatever's left of last night.
Yes, a nice macchiato and a pain au chocolat would be delicious.
And like some potatoes.
Ooh.
Maybe some meat too.
You like a delicious hash. Now you could see he's kind of like stroking his beard, thinking about food. And he's got visions of sugar plums dancing above his head.
Is this man, despite his clearly like had a rough nightness, is this man at all like young and attractive, or?
I mean, I think so.
Okay.
He is like I said, he's got like bright, cheerful cheeks, like those big chubby cheeks. He's got a mustache and a beard, nice curly long hair. Kind of like my Christopher. He looks kind of like my Christopher, except for has a longer beard.
Okay. But he's like youngish. He's not like.
Yeah, I would say he's probably mid-30s-ish.
All right. Okay. Not that that's going to at all color how Portia interacts with this person, except that it absolutely will.
And he says, well, I do apologize again for tripping you. I need to remember to sleep in better places. I will be off, since you won't be joining me for coffee. And he kicks a barrel next to him and says, Squiggy, come on, let's get some coffee. And as he kicks the barrel, a halfling man pops up out of the barrel and kind of wiggles around a little bit. Okay. Still very tired, climbs out, half asleep, arms kind of hanging, follows behind the captain.
Well, hang on a moment. We just pulled into town. You wouldn't happen to be at all plugged in to whatever's happening around town, would you?
Well, yeah, this is my home port.
But I mean, like, you've been here for a while. You haven't been like away for months.
No, I haven't been to sea in quite some time. My crewmates and I have been doing a bit of research, but it seems I have lost my research, which is what he was feeling around his pockets for.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, to be perfectly honest, there wasn't any bacon on our ship, so. Somebody back me up here.
Yeah, so maybe we should go get some bacon.
I mean,
I will. She like walks behind both of you, just kind of like puts her hands on both your shoulders, like, I am behind both of you. Literally and figuratively.
I love how the barbarian is standing in the back. That's
This
Love
is a
it.
social gesture, okay, Portia? I am trying here.
okay.
Adult, right? Captain Adult. Where would we get some bacon for breakfast? Or brunch, I suppose it's brunch time.
Is it not dinner?
No, she said it was mid-morning.
Oh, yeah, it's brunch. Mimosa time.
Somewhere with some carbs for you and some bacon, carbs and coffee for you, and potentially maybe, I don't know, some bacon for those of us who have been deprived for the last several days.
Captain William turns to Squiggy, the halfling companion, and says, Squiggy, where is Squee? And he says, oh, hold on. And he runs back to the barrel and climbs in the barrel and then pulls out a second halfling, and they look almost identical.
Oh dear. It's Tweedledee and Tweedledum. Thing one and thing two? No? All right.
Is the barrel like? It was just a barrel, right? It's not like
one of those really big wooden barrels, you know. You could fit a full standard size person in one. So
yeah.
Would definitely fit.
I was picturing a smaller barrel for some reason.
Yeah,
not like
big,
not like a Heineken drought keg, but like
big barrel.
Big like wooden,
like a whiskey barrel.
Yeah, like a whiskey barrel, exactly. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. I'm with you.
Two halfling size barrel, to be specific.
Yep. And their outfits are almost identical. Except for they wear a pair of mismatched boots, each of them, and one has a black boot on his right foot and a blue boot on his left foot, and the other one has a blue boot on his right foot and a black boot on his left foot.
Wonder if that was on purpose.
That or they're just terrible at coordinating.
Possibly colorblind.
Feels like it would be rude to ask. Anyway, either way.
And they go up to the closest tavern. It's not actually really a bakery. It's a tavern. We're in Port Town. Bakery's a little extra fancy here, but they go to the closest tavern.
Totally fair.
Which is called the Sea Dragon. And Captain William opens the door. And, ladies first. And Squiggy and Squee go to run in before you, and he like puts his arm out and clotheslines them and says, "Ladies first."
Wait, thank you, darling.
Actually, I mean they can go first. It's totally fine. I'll go last if you don't mind.
I guess Az will go first. keeping an eye on her purse.
You see,
it's
Az
Port City, like that should just be
Az pulls her coin purse off of her belt pouch and tucks it in her shirt into her extra woman pocket.
Mm-hmm. The bra. You're talking about a bra.
Yeah.
Okay. I knew what you meant. I just want to make sure everybody else knows what you meant.
Yep. So Az is in. I assume Portia's behind. Elwyn has asked to go last. So Squiggy and Squee. Then William goes in, Captain William, and then Elwyn. And it's a tavern. It's not super quote unquote hustle and bustle. There's patrons inside, but a lot of people look sort of hungover. They're partaking in hair of the dog, having, breakfast, lunch, brunch, whatever. No sort of aristocratic clientele here.
It's a dock dive.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he leads you to a big round table. The table is in the shape of a ship's wheel, and he pulls out chairs for you to sit down.
What did you say the name of the place was? Sorry.
The Sea Dragon.
Real quick, the
Yes.
reason I wanted to go last is so I could kind of like look back and see if we were being followed.
Yeah, by all means, you can do a quick perception check if you'd like.
Okay, thank you. Let's see, +3 to that. Let's see what we do. Okay. Ooh, that is a dirty 20, my friends.
Nicely
You are
done.
not being followed.
Okay.
Good.
Good stuff. That's it.
And then as we walk in, can I kind of just do a scan of the room and see if anybody just like looks interesting? And or more sober / less hungover than like the average in here?
Yeah, you can do an active perception check instead of your
Phew.
passive.
One moment. The wine die feels appropriate in this case. That's not great. 11.
Yeah, nobody really stands out aside from your typical seafarers. Like I said, there's nobody aristocratic here. You know, everybody pretty much looks like salty sea dogs.
All in various states of
Yes,
overindulged.
exactly. Clearly a place of debauchery in the evenings.
This place looks like it would be lively after sunset.
Oh, it is, and they have a wonderful band.
Oh, even better. They do have breakfast food, though, right?
Well, it depends on what you consider breakfast.
All right. Coffee. Most importantly, coffee.
Absolutely.
All right.
And he'll wave over a tavern maid, and she'll come over and to take your orders. And she'll give you a little menu if you need a menu as well.
I mean, I feel like we probably had some sort of breakfast on the ship before we embarked.
Yeah, you
Okay.
did probably have a traveling breakfast
Okay.
of some sort.
That did not include bacon specifically, so
No, no bacon, no bacon.
Bacon
There was a small
and,
galley on the ship. It didn't have, a ton of things. It was just a short trip. So you probably had something like grits and toast, not even toast. Yeah.
all right. Some bacon and maybe some fresh fruit if you've got it.
Okay. Bacon, fruit, coffee to drink, you said.
Coffee, yes, please. Specifically for this one, an extra large cup, please.
And the rest of you?
Potatoes.
Yeah.
Lots of carbs.
Fried potatoes or baked potatoes. Yeah, some
or
kind of potato.
Hash brown. You cut them in the.
Yeah.
We do have a plate that comes with all of it. We have a full dwarven if you're interested.
I am so interested. You have no
The full dwarven.
idea.
Yeah.
Denny's Grand Slam of Ilium.
Yeah. Basically
Yes.
a full English, but the D&D version. A full dwarven. It'll have beans and toast and potatoes and sausage and tomatoes. All of that. Okay,
Yes.
so
I think As will have that too.
So 3 full dwarvens, and she'll get the orders for the others. Squiggy and Squee order Schmicky Schmaus pancakes. And Captain orders also as well a full dwarven. And he tells her, Lizette, I'll cover the bill. And she just kind of looks at him and says, like, your tab is already pretty high. And he says, I know. I'll cover it.
That's not necessary, darling. We can pay our own way.
Oh, no. It's the gentlemanly thing to do.
You did trip her. I suppose that's fair.
Yeah, I think there's a bruise on my knee. She just like deadpan stares at him, like, yeah, I think there's a bruise on my knee.
Yeah, and so she heads off to go put your breakfast orders in. She comes back with your coffee, pours everybody a coffee. She pours in the coffee of the captain a thick, spiced smelling brown liquid as well. And he says, hair of the dog, just what I needed.
Okay, we should probably get what we need out of you before that fully gets into your blood.
I wanted to ask him, has he ever been up to the Temple Stone? Up on the cliff? If he's ever been up there.
Oh, yes, I have. Every Sunday morning.
Oh. Refresh my memory, Huli. What god did Brennan worship?
I'm not really sure if it was one specific. The Fae kind of have several different ones. Hold on. This will be Mala Firebringer.
So the temple said it was like where Brennan had. What had he done up there?
It's basically Plymouth Rock. It's the first place where he set foot.
And then they built a whole temple there to commemorate
Essentially, yeah.
His moon landing.
Pretty much. But Mala Firebringer is the most worshipped goddess of Teresin. She's the goddess of the sun, the lady of light and learning and fire. Her sacred animal is the sun stag, which Brennan brought to Erilea and is also the royal symbol of Teresin, so on and so forth.
So, darling, now that you're beginning to dry out a bit, any rumors flying around recently? Any strange happenings?
Rumors and strange happenings.
Anything out of the ordinary?
High or low?
High.
Nothing out of the ordinary, no.
Any information coming down from the capital?
We did hear there was something that happened at the party that the royals had attended, but nobody quite knows what it was.
Oh, yes, we've been hearing about that as well. Nothing local, though.
Nothing necessarily local, no, but
any interesting people coming into the docks?
I mean, people come in and out all day, every day. It's a port town, darling.
Well, of course, but anyone who stood out.
Well, there was that ship about a week ago.
Oh?
It was painted in a way I'd never seen before. And the people, they were dressed different.
Foreign or?
Very, very foreign. I'm not even sure I've ever seen anybody dressed like that previously in all of my travels, I don't think.
Can I a description would be lovely.
Yeah, they were wearing like a cream white color from head to toe. It was kind of linen in a little baggy, but tight around the wrists and the ankles. They had hoods, and most of their face was covered.
All right. And what of the ship itself? You said it was painted strangely.
Yeah, it was painted the color of the ocean, about halfway up it. And then just right above that was like a white, and it looked like clouds. Almost, if you didn't see it up close, it would kind of blend itself in with the ocean as you traveled along it.
Oh, interesting. And it wasn't flying the colors of any recognizable nationality.
No, their sails were painted the color of the sky, and they had, like I said, clouds painted on them.
And no flags.
No flags that I saw. No. Okay, not that I remember now. And he scratches his beard, trying to recall.
And they actually disembarked. They didn't just stay to restock and then leave again.
Oh, about 6 of them. They came in and they docked their ship and went through town, and they got on a river barge, and that's the last I saw of them.
Aha. Sorry, writing.
You're fine.
Well, that's certainly interesting. And then between me and Azathoth, that kind of garb, does that seem like, like I said, I have interacted with a fair amount of like foreign dignitaries and ambassadors in the capital from all over the place.
I think out of any of you, the person that would recognize the description of the garb the most would be Az. It sounds very desert attire.
And since she was born in the desert, would it be, let me look at the map so I get would it be like the red desert?
Yeah, down by where you were born, yes.
Okay.
It's like the very, the light linen clothing that they would wear, very swathy and breathable, but covers from the sun, that kind of stuff, to cover their face and their eyes from sand blowing, why they would wear, they would keep their nose and their mouth covered. It sounds very much like desert attire.
Okay. Is it? Okay.
I'll give you a look that lets you know that I know what it is, but I'm not going to say it here.
That's fair. Totally fair. Trust me, Portia appreciates discretion after the golden retriever. Interesting.
And your breakfast comes and you're able to eat. He does ask how long you will be around for.
I don't think we know precisely.
Well, I remember you said you were on a little bit of a time limit, but I was wondering if once you're finished with what you're doing, if you would mind maybe helping my compatriots and I out. And I'd be willing to share with you my bounty.
What kind of thing are you talking about here, friend?
Well, you see, I had mentioned I was doing some research. My crew and I are definitely we're looking. I have a map which I seem to have misplaced, partying a little too heartily last night. That is a location to some treasure. And I'd be willing to share the treasure if you would be willing to help me find the map.
Does this map, besides the location of the treasure, of course, have any geographic details of the area besides the location of the treasure?
Yes, the Dead Islands.
Oh. Oh. All right. Say we assist you with recovering this map, and of course you share the spoils once they are located. Could we add onto the pot the ability for us to make a copy of this map, leaving off potentially the location of the treasure? That's not really interesting to us going forward.
Oh, absolutely. I'd be willing to, if you would assist me, I'd be willing to offer my services as a captain and transport you to your next destination on my ship. I would offer you also a cut of my treasure, which I can't for certain say exactly what the treasure is.
Of course.
And yes, that. A cut of the treasure. And of course, you could copy the map, because once we get the treasure, then
The map
it
is
won't really
basically-
matter. Yes, that.
Would you mind if we had a little sidebar with my companions for a moment?
Oh, no, discuss as you need to with your business associates.
Do you need anything from the bar? Refill or anything?
Oh, I think Squiggy and Squee could do with some more orange juice. What could it, you kids? They're Squiggy and Squee Kid, Kidd.
Oh dear.
And they could do with some orange juice, even though they're both adults. And
Orange juice is delicious.
I'll just finish on my my coffee here.
All right. Ladies, do you want to go to the bar for a moment and discuss a few things and then come back with some orange juice?
A girl's trip to the powder room because women travel.
Exactly, except it's to the bar. I don't really want to see what the powder room here looks like, to be honest.
Because we all drink. Yes.
We're going for orange juice, darling. Everyone drinks orange juice.
Well, some people might be allergic to oranges. We don't know.
That's fair, all right.
Only Jack Barlow, and if he ever shows up in one of my campaigns, kill him immediately.
So allergic to citrus. All right, so sidebar.
Yeah.
That was weird. I don't know. It sounded funny coming out of my mouth.
So I'll whisper and tell you guys about the people that came off the ship and what region of Erilea they're from.
And at this point, anyone odd looking coming into port and then immediately sailing upriver, I would say is of interest. But also, this treasure being out at the Dead Islands, isn't that where they were holding the queen? Am I out of character? Is Sarah remembering that right?
Yeah, I believe that's where you're supposed to meet.
That's where we're supposed to take the thing.
Yeah, Damaris, which you don't quite know what Damaris is.
Yeah. So, if nothing else, having a detailed map of the Dead Island can only be good for us.
Yes.
And I think maybe taking a slight, just basic Aurelian geography. How far away are the Dead Islands? This is, important for us, like bringing the artifact there in the time allotted. Like, how long do we need to set aside of our 7 days just for transport there?
I don't think we could get there and back, could we, Hildy?
Let me-
It's way
But if
down
we got to go there with the artifact anyway,
Yeah.
right? Then maybe it is we go once we're ready to go, right?
Mhm.
That we don't make a second trip necessarily. That's why I'm asking.
It's down there by Farrenhorn.
And Harrow.
Fenharrow.
Oh, is that your TV?
Oh yeah, hang on. That better?
Yeah.
You?
Yeah, so the Dead Islands, so you're up in the north part of Erilea as a continent. Teresin is the very northeastern country. The Dead Islands are to the south, off the coast of Elway and Fenharrow.
Okay, so Rifthold is kind of halfway
Yes.
between where we are and the Dead Islands. Okay.
Yeah.
So if it took us 2 days to get here.
Yeah, the Dead Islands are the same distance from Rifthold as where you are is.
Okay. So it's going to take us probably 4 days just to get there. So we do not have time for a side trip. Okay. Well, we didn't lie. We are really on a time crunch. But if we're going to have to be asking some questions anyway to try to find this artifact, if we happen to hear about his missing map, then again, some details of the place we're going that's almost certainly hostile territory can only be a good thing.
We can always do it after.
Well, exactly. Or, as a side thing while we're researching our primary goal.
Yeah. Multitasking.
Exactly. 2 pieces of information that we're keeping our ears open for equally, or 70-30. I say we say yes to this and get a few more details on, the time frame and stuff.
We need to know where we can find him as well.
Correct. And he's also offering transport to the Dead Islands, which we were going to have to arrange anyway. So this feels like a good deal.
Unless his boat is absolute dumpster fire.
We should maybe ask some questions about that in our, detail gathering phase that's going to happen once we return to the table.
Yeah. Okay. I'm with you.
All right. Barkeep, could we get 2 glasses of orange juice, please?
Plus, citrus is such a rich thing, I don't have a citrus tree with my family.
Citrus prevents scurvy.
It does.
Yeah, she gets you 2 glasses of juice. Apologies.
No worries. Trust me, I was there like 2 weeks ago. I get it.
It's awful.
Yeah.
I have enacted COVID protocols in my space. If anybody is even sniffly, sneezy, ears hurt, throat hurts, even thinks they might have some disease or plague that they wish to instill upon me, I have a box of masks by the door.
Vanished.
Put a mask on before you come in here and bring me your plague, you Victorian era plague rats.
Finished. Yeah, I have stopped hanging out with people who have school-age children.
My kids are still in school, and that's part of it.
This has been the Pokemon winter, meaning gotta catch them all.
Yeah. It's awful.
Anyway, scurvy prevention glasses in hand. We'll head back to the table.
All right. So
I think collectively we have decided that this may be a mutually beneficial arrangement. We have a few questions on specifics, though, if you don't mind.
Mm-hmm.
You seem like the trustworthy sort, but we would like to at least put eyes upon your vessel before we agree to, be out in the middle of the ocean upon it. I'm sure it's lovely, but, trust but verify. You understand.
Yeah, my love, my life, my lady, my Stella.
I've never understood how ships and the ocean are an actual replacement for female companionship, but whatever.
I don't know, something to do with the moisture, probably. I you know.
I mean, if you're not into women, that's fine, but goodness gracious, you're in port, you can fix that. Yeah. This goes against everything Portia stands for. All right, and we would like a copy of your map once the treasure has been located, and we are here, like I said, we are on a bit of a time crunch given the travel time down to the
Jesus.
I think we will need to be like leaving here within a day or a day and a half in order to meet our deadlines. And I mean, we can't guarantee anything, but we're here to look into another matter, and we can certainly look into your matter while we do, if that is agreeable.
Yeah, that'd be great. Squiggy and Squee reminded me of something when you had gone off.
Oh?
Because I had said I wasn't quite sure exactly what the treasure is, and they reminded me that we don't know what all of the treasure is, but what one of the things rumored to be in the treasure is a great ancient sword.
Okay, Portia is putting all of her newly acquired coffee energy into maintaining her poker face right now. Good. Well, that sounds lovely. We could probably fence that for a decent little bit of coin. Hopefully there's more than just that, though, right? You can't exactly cut a sword in half. That doesn't work so much.
I mean, technically, you could make it work. I could make a handle for the other half.
I mean, true, I suppose. Anyway, we'll figure that out later. Literally any other information, and by information, I'm using that in the broadest possible sense. Rumors, whisperings, anything that you might have about where your map might have gone, who you were with last night, all of it.
As these things come back to me, I will let you know. He says, so it's a deal?
Yes.
Wonderful.
At Elwyn and Azathoth and make sure we're all still on the same page about this.
Who do you think is standing closest to him when you come back?
I think it depends on where he is relative to the bar.
So he says, wonderful. Well, let's get going. And he slaps Elwyn on the back with like a hearty slap and then proceeds to vomit behind you. Yes, and then he pops up and says, much better. Now, where to?
Well, I think you're going to stay here and have another cup of coffee that doesn't have anything remotely Irish in it.
And as he turns, you notice as he's taking his hat off and you're in a place with a little bit better lighting than when he was like laying in a pile of barrels, you see what looks like a fresh tattoo on the side of his face.
How fresh? Like last night fresh?
Like last night fresh. I will say for sure, as sees it with a passive of 16.
You got tattooed last night, huh, buddy? She pulls out a potion that's got like vitamin B and stuff in it, and says, "Hey."
He says, "Tattoo."
Drink this with a little bit of water.
I got a tattoo?
Yeah, I think you got a tattoo on your face. It looks very like fresh because, yeah, can you feel it? Does it feel a little raised right now?
Yeah. was wondering why my face was hurting so bad. You can do a check to see what the tattoo looks like. And then he gets a squinty face and he thinks and he says, ah, Meg's Magics, Inks, and Drinks. That's where this had to have come from.
That's a delightful combination. Tattoos and booze. They should probably just rename it Bad Decisions.
You could do a perception check to see what the tattoo looks like if you wanted
Yes,
to.
please.
What the hell?
Why am I rolling like dog shit tonight?
I got
Which
an
D&D god did I piss off? 13.
All
Okay.
right.
Dear D20, numbers over 10 exist upon you.
Anything above a 10 will reveal that it is a tiny parrot squawking and saying something unreadable in a little like text bubble.
God.
Unintelligible audio.
Yeah, exactly that.
All right, I'm curious, and I'm sure you don't remember, but a tattoo like that feels like one of two things. A dare gone horribly wrong, or a tattoo artist having a bit of fun with someone who 100% cannot see the tattoo that they're imparting.
Well, I suppose it's the first place we shall look for my treasure.
Okay. Lovely. Great. We're not going anywhere until I see you down another coffee with no additives. All right?
Oh, I'm feeling wonderful now.
Oh,
And
I'm
he
sure
jumps
you
up,
are, darling. One
clacks
more cup
his
of
heels
coffee.
together.
No additives, please.
Drink this vitamin B.
Yeah, as
And
of though,
then-
can you do anything about this? I have use for his brain and I need it unsloshed, please.
The tattoo isn't on his cheek, it's like on his by his temple, his eyebrow area. That's why you couldn't see it when he had his hat on. But
Got it. That makes sense.
Could her vitamin mixture, could it get rid of his hangover? She does have alchemist supplies and does make potions often.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
I'm
You want to
gonna
make
just-
this man sober?
Yes, please.
I'm gonna say he's somebody who is the reason the rum is always gone, perpetually just drinking and maybe expelling all of that from his system, drying him out probably isn't the greatest idea because then he'll be actually useless. But his morning hair of the dog and barf sesh really has him like cheered up and chipper, and he's got rosy cheeks and a little cherry nose going on. He's alive and
Oh, okay.
Never, ever sober up a pirate.
Okay.
I mean,
Never
fair, I
fucking
suppose.
do it.
So you're saying this is the sort of person who is the most useful when he's got like a drink and a half just perpetually in the system.
Precisely.
yeah, he's a functional drinkaholic.
All right, good. Well then, as long as he's in his most functional state, I suppose I'll take that.
Okay, I'll hang on to my potion.
Portia was considering other things, like if this turns out well, but she's reconsidering all of it. Also, she has a very strict rule about face tattoos, so
Yeah, he seems a little annoyed. He doesn't remember getting the tattoo, of course, but now he's like he does this 1,000-yard stare, and that's when he snaps his fingers and says, "Meg's Magic Inks and Drinks," and recalls the place.
all right. And I don't suppose you remember, but did you go to this place on purpose, or did you just sort of happen to stumble in? Was it just like step 3 on the bar crawl, or
Yes.
all right?
It's coming back to me piece by piece.
Lovely.
Like a trail of breadcrumbs I left for myself last evening. Quite a smart lad, I think I am.
Okay, that's lovely for you. Lead on.
I mean, the man
Everybody's
did research. Research. What kind of pirate do you know that does research for anything.
Well, when
I
there's
think
treasure.
Elephant's like, I think this man might actually be intelligent somewhere in there.
Somewhere deep, deep down, very, very deep.
I mean, you guys could have insight checked him at any point in time to see if he was a scallywag for real or
I've got a
what?
13 passive insight. I don't suppose that gets me anything.
No, not a passive. No.
Okay, hang on. Let me real quick. You're rolling a big one.
A big fat one.
That's a 13.
Nah. I mean, I will say that he seems genuine that he does have a treasure map that he's looking for, and he did lose it in partaking in a night of revelry / debauchery / piratry, and he's been genuine about all of that. But more what I'm saying is you could try to figure out if he's more than just a drunken pirate or not.
Oh,
So
I
to
have every intention of finding that out, just maybe not right this minute. Can I, though, before we leave, at some point during all of this, can I insight check the halfling twins?
yeah.
Just because they've been very quiet and
Yeah, you notice that they don't speak any spoken language, but they do sign language.
okay, that's fine. Anything that I recognize from Thieves' Cant, has it been taken from sort of the standard sign language at all?
I say it's probably the equivalent to American Standard Sign Language.
Okay.
So you may recognize a thing or two here or there,
Okay.
things that Thieves' Cant has pulled from regular sign language.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, can I just sort of insight check like their general demeanor? Like I don't even really know what I'm looking for here. Just like the captain is keeping them around.
Yeah, they're like Pippin and Mary.
Yeah. Just like general demeanor, like are they on board with this or are they like here with the captain for some other reason? Oh my god, there are numbers above 10. You almost got there. A 9 almost got there.
Yeah, I'll say
for a total of 12.
What you're able to deduce about them is they are the captain's like closest companions. There's a sort of fatherly kind of relationship with the two of them and the captain. They're just they're always kind of together, the equivalent to Smee and Captain Hook minus the abuse, because he's not a mean pirate at all. He's a nice guy.
Are they super young?
They're not. They're adult halflings, but if you're like looking into them, you'll see a scar on both of their throats right around where the voice box would be. They're both mute. They're not able to speak, which is why they do the sign language.
Okay.
But they're young in comparison to the captain, who I said is about mid-30s. They're probably late teens, early 20s. So not kids, but like the halfling equivalent to fresh drinking age era,
Okay. And they seem like they're loyal to the captain.
Absolutely, 100%, yes.
All right. Good enough for me.
Yeah, so you're going with the captain?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he leads off to Meg's Magic Inks and Drinks. And he goes right in the door and throws his hands on his hips and points to the bird perched on his eyebrow and says, "Who's responsible for this atrocity?" And a large figure from a dark corner of the room stands and walks up. She is very interesting looking to all of you. It appears to be an upright shark with a human lower half.
What?
It's like that guy from that one thing.
like a shark upper half, human lower half. And she snarls and says, that'd be me, Meg. And her and the pirate sort of butt heads and growl at each other. And
all right. No
things
need
get
for whatever this is.
Their moment that seems kind of like a standoff. And then they both rear back and start laughing. And she pokes at the parrot and assesses the work some. And she goes, I don't think I did too poorly here. Can't say the same for the tattoo on your backside, though. And Captain Adult looks horrified and blushes.
Right. So, the captain here was a bit fuzzy on the circumstances around acquiring this lovely piece of artwork. I don't suppose you could fill in some of the gaps for us.
Yeah, of course I can. You should see the tattoo on your backside.
I don't think that is necessary. Thank you very much.
Well, you see, the captain was going on and on about some damn map.
Was he going on and on about the map in the context of he's very proud of it, or that he had misplaced it?
Well, a little bit of both. Do you not remember? You and your buddies, Captain, came in and begged me to tattoo your friendship map on your butts and backs.
Oh God, what?
Yeah, the captain's jaw sort of drops and Meg looks at you. Yeah, these idiots came in and said they were best friends and needed a way to keep the map safe, so I helped them out. No idea what the map is for, but it must be something secret.
I'm sorry. Let me make sure I've got this right. Are you saying that this missing map is tattooed, at least in part, on this lovely gentleman's backside?
Yeah, they were so sure of the tattoos that they burned up their map, thinking somebody would steal it afterwards.
Misplaced it.
Commitment.
That's what we're going with. Misplaced.
Oh, this is something else, isn't it? Wow.
Well, there was more of them, though. This is only 3 parts. The map is in 5.
Who are the other 2?
One of them was a heavier set sort of gentleman, and he kept mentioning some sort of cave. And the small ones just wanted to go to the tiny island that's just off the coast of here to the north. So I don't know where the others were, but there was 5 of them in total.
Captain, do these 2 people sound familiar at all?
He scratches his beard and is trying to remember.
Or was this like a bathroom sort of instant bonding sort of thing? Maybe that's just the girls' bathroom. I don't know.
I do actually remember. That would be Timbers and Shiver.
And do these places that the lady mentioned ring bells? Is this where they live? Stay while they're in town?
Usually we all stay together, but I can't really remember why they were going to those places. Maybe once we get there, I can figure it out.
Okay, but you know where this cave is?
I think where the cave is, and also where the small tiny island is.
Okay, well, that's better than nothing. This gives me physical pain on a certain level. I think we're going to need to see the tattoo.
He very blushes. I don't think it's appropriate for me to be showing me booty, so to speak, to a bunch of ladies.
Can one of your halfling friends, or the lovely tattoo artist here, she's already seen it all, someone needs to get the information off of your backside and onto a medium that's a bit more useful.
I usually like it when a lady buys me a couple of drinks before I drop my trousers for her.
Oh dear.
He's
one
like
of your
very...
halfling friends copy it. Can the three of you like go in the back and have a little party?
You could do a persuasion. You could try to persuade him to
I am
show.
also fully willing to buy him a couple of drinks if it has to be me copying it. But it doesn't have to be me, just someone.
Squiggy and Squee, they have no problem showing you their tattoos. Theirs aren't on their bums; they're on their lower back, like above theirs, like little tramp stamp.
Tramp stamps of the map. Is that what's happening here?
Yeah,
that's amazing.
A piece of the map.
Okay. I will give him the option. If you are more comfortable having one of your crewmates make a copy of it, that is fine. We just need a copy of it. Otherwise, I'm perfectly willing to buy you a couple of drinks to make this happen. You don't really want to know how many men's backsides I've seen. It's really nothing. I've seen it all. I've seen weirder, I promise.
Do you trust Squiggy and Squee to copy the map accurately, or do you?
I mean, no, not really. Portia's not really a trusting person, but
I mean, you're fairly
make allowances for this man's modesty.
You're
maybe Meg could copy it. I mean,
you're fairly charismatic. You could do a persuasion, say that you want the map copied as accurately as possible.
That's true. Okay, yes, I will do a persuasion. Come on, die. Let's see. Which one do I want? We're going to do the lightning glass because it hasn't betrayed me yet today. Okay, this is stupid. I am burning one of my inspirations. I have not rolled above a 10 all night. Here we go. Why, thank you. That's a natural 20. It was a 5 before.
Let's go.
Yeah, so
well-used inspiration.
First
for a total of 27, if it matters.
First you see Squiggy and Squeeze tattoos, and they really just look like the outlines of a map. So they don't have any details of the map themselves.
Got, like the corners.
Yeah, they've got like one on each side, so it looks like the edges of the parchment.
Okay.
And then on the captain, he blushes, but he says, "All right, just this one time, and it's because you have agreed to help me." And
I'll buy you a couple of drinks if that's what you need to make you feel more comfortable.
He goes to takes his jacket off and lays it down, and
I have a flask in my back pocket. I will fully offer it to him if that's what it takes.
He pulls up his shirt, and when he just pulls the edge of his pants, right when you see the top of his butt crack, he's got what looks like a middle picture of a map above his butt. So it's not actually on his butt cheeks.
Well, that's good.
And it looks like a lake or a pond, sort of, and it breaks off on each side where the image stops, where it looks like two little river mouths sort of branch out from it, and there's a picture of a little skull next to the side of it.
So it looks like the twins have the two sides. Looks like he's got the middle, and then there's two sort of inside sides that are missing.
Yes.
Okay. I will copy that as best as I can into my notebook.
Once you get all the pieces to the map, I will send you an actual image of the map.
Perfect. Yeah. So I'll copy what's there onto a page in my notebook, and making sure to leave room on that same page for the other two pieces.
Okay. I'll say you can do that fairly accurately, no problem. It's a fairly elementary style of drawing.
Okay. And once we get close, if we need to like re-reference, if we need to re-reference the butt cheek, we can.
Hush, you dog.
I'll give him kind of like a pat on the back. That wasn't so bad, was it?
I
I'll tell
feel
you
a little bit better knowing that I actually didn't have to show you me full backside. The moon doesn't shine in the daylight. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
And he cinches his pants like extra tight when he pulls them back up, puts his jacket on. Like he's a pirate. He is very gentlemanly. He doesn't exude misogyny and disrespect in your directions at all.
I will put my arm around him as we're sort of walking back to like out front. I will give him a kiss on the cheek and just sort of give his shoulder a squeeze.
He says, okay, so we know where the other parts are. Which one we go to first?
Which one is closer, darling?
Yes.
Okay, which one is easier to access?
Yes.
All right, I'm assuming this island requires a boat to get to.
Yes.
What
but
about
not
the
a big
cave?
one. Not a big boat. Just a small one. It's not too far.
All right. Is the cave going to require, climbing equipment or, a long hike in the woods? What's the deal there?
Yeah, the cave is through the sort of jungly area to the south.
Hot, humid, I assume.
Darling, this whole area is hot and humid.
Yes, I've noticed. My hair is not appreciating
Yeah,
it.
you're in like instead of a foresty, Teresin is a lot of forest, but you're in more of the warm tropical-y forest instead of the tundra-y, northern sequoia forests,
All right, different take on this. We're approaching midday. Is this forest thick enough that trying to approach this cave in the late afternoon or evening is going to make the light a problem?
I don't think so. I think it should be okay.
All right, well, maybe we do the forest now while the sun is high and we've got light. Or on the flip side, we could... I don't think it matters. Anyone have a preference?
Cave,
No.
was it the cave would be closer? Or was that
I said yes.
They're both
Closer
about
to
the
here,
same.
yes.
Above the table, they're about the same distance. You've got to go one or the other.
Okay.
Well, maybe the island, since Captain William has a ship, and that way we could see the ship and go to the island first. Because
say it
if
didn't
it's the
require a
cave,
big
we
boat.
might need horses or something.
Elwyn did sound very excited about the prospect of horses, though. So
Yeah.
I have no preference. Elwyn, darling, it seems like we'll get you some horse time, though.
Okay, that's fine with me. I mean, I'm up for anything, honestly.
Well, let's go with Azathel's suggestion and go to the island first.
Okay.
If that
Okay.
works.
Yeah, so you want to go to find Timber first.
Sure. I don't remember which one went with which place, but yes, island first.
Okay. So you start to head north, and the captain and his two compatriots take you out of the town itself, up a path. It's a mostly clear path through some jungly like area, emerging onto a beach. And just to the north of that beach, you see the island in question. It's not really much of an actual island. It's kind of more of a little rocky outcropping on the ocean. And you see a tiny figure dangling upside down from a palm tree. And it's about, I would say the little island is about 100 yards off the shore.
I don't suppose that's your friend there.
Yeah, the captain shouts when he sees it. They've got timbers. And then when you see sharks circling around the island. And these, hush you dog. Little these sort of crustacean-like creatures chomping their claws at him as he dangles from a tree. The druid, if they would like, could do an animal check to see if you recognize what kind of animal they are.
Yes, I will do that. 15. 16, actually, 16.
You recognize them as Chul. Chuul. They're very large. They're kind of like I'm probably gonna say this word wrong. Primeval.
No, that's right.
Okay, yeah. They're primeval sort of aboleth type creatures. Anyways, they're big critters.
Scare them off.
So there's
friendly.
Three of them on the beach, and then some sharks circling the small island, waiting for Timber to fall in.
I don't suppose we can negotiate with them.
Do I ever speak with animals? I don't know. I actually do.
I would say that you would know that they can't speak, but they do understand one specific language.
Is it primordial?
It's not.
Yeah. That's all I got. I mean, I have lots of other things, but I don't think it's relevant here.
I speak giant.
No, they speak deep speech.
Oh, okay.
They understand deep speech. They're chaotic, evil, large aberrations, so they're not technically animals.
Okay. I've got undercommon, but that's as close as I can get.
Yeah.
All right. So that's a no, I'm assuming.
I would say that Azathoth knows that Chules are crustaceans that are modified and endowed with a bit of sentience. They follow directives of their creators. So, I mean, if they're, protecting something, then that's probably why they're after the little guy. Let me put this animal outside because he's going to stress me out.
Okay.
Does William have a ship that we could just...
Well, he has a big ship, but I think we don't need a big ship. I think we just need like a boat.
Yeah.
Yeah, his ship is too big for you to. It's only 100 yards to the little island, so
we need a rowboat.
Yeah, you pretty much need like a little schooner or a rowboat or something like that.
Uh-huh.
Well,
are there any boats around that we could?
Or could we borrow, a lifeboat from your ship or something?
I might know a place to get a boat, one that we could use. And he's already like run partly into the water, but when you start talking to him, he stops and turns around and says, "Good point. I might know where we can get a boat."
Were you planning to just swim just now?
Well, I had to save timber.
Okay, well, if we drown on the way, then that's not going to be good. So, boat first.
Yeah, good. I knew there was a reason I liked you. Aside from you be very beautiful.
Oh dear. Chop chop, darling. That rope looks very sturdy, I'm sure.
He's not even on a rope. He's just dangling from a palm tree itself. Like, you know how the top of the palm tree is sort of flimsy?
Okay. Like he climbed up it to escape the wind.
Yeah. And it's kind of like leaning.
Palm trees are designed to bend when the storms come in. I'm sure he'll be fine for like 10 more minutes.
Yeah, the roots don't go very deep.
They're very flexible. So, but let's maybe hurry this up.
And he says, "You stay here. I'll be right back." And he takes off running.
Okay, so we'll stay here.
Yeah, and I'm going to say we'll leave it here because there is some combat involved. And I see where Joe says they only have about 45 max. So I don't want to cut us off in the middle of combat.
Totally fair. Totally fair.
All right. Good stuff. Let me see.
What's our level up schedule? I can't remember.
You're at 3 now.
We are,
right?
Yes.
Yeah. So
and we hit 3 at the end of session 3.
Did you start out at 1?
Yeah.
I think we did, but we went through them quickly.
Yeah, it should have been 1 at level 1. Because we're on session 6. So it should have been 1 at level 1, 2 at level 2, 3 at 3. So I must have leveled you early. I think I leveled you early when we had new party members join. So you got 1, 2, and 3, and then 3, 4, 5. So yeah, you're at 3. So you'll do 3 more sessions. So 6, 7, and 8. And then once you get to 9, like after 8, you'll level up. And then it'll be every 4 after that.
Okay, gotcha. I just couldn't remember what we had.
Yeah.
That the schedule was. Cool. Okay.
You're fine. I was looking to see if we were going to raid anybody. Doesn't look like we are. All right. So we'll be back in 2 weeks with this game. So goodbye and good night, everybody. Take care. All of that good stuff. Let me push buttons.